Mustafa al-Amin sallallahu alaihi wasallam concerning his mu'amala and the way he used to deal with two groups of people. And they are the Jaahil and the Mubtadi. The Jaahil, the person who's ignorant, and the one who is a sinner. So for the Jaahil, you could put with the Jaahil, the ignorant one, the Mubtadi. Not Mubtadi with an Ain, Mubtadi, innovator. No. The Mubtadi, the one who's a beginner in al-Islam. How the Nabi used to deal with them, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how he dealt with the person who fell into the noob and ma'asi. And again, the reason why we're giving these examples is because all of these people are in our society. All of these people, we need to learn how to deal with them. If you go to the internet, YouTube, and you look at how people are embracing Islam and what we even have in our masajid with the beginner. He's a brand new spanking Muslim. She's a brand new Muslim. When he comes into al-Islam, you know him. He wants to accept Islam. Instead of you giving him the shahada, just you and him. You meet someone at your job, in school, your neighbor in the street, on the bus. It's just you and him. Just let him take the shahada. That's it. He's a Muslim. Khalas. Finish. You don't have to bring him to the masjid. And then in front of all of the people, he sits there and he takes the shahada. And then how does he take the shahada? We'll give him the shahada and we say, repeat after me. The Imam says, repeat after me. Ashhadu. He doesn't know Arabic. So he says, Ashhadu. Allah. He said, Allah. Ilah. And the Imam gets mad and says, Allah. Ilah. Ya akhi, the man is nervous already because he's sitting in front of everybody. He's taking a big step in his life and he doesn't know Arabic. He's a beginner. She's a beginner. One of them, they're new to Islam. The man, he accepts Islam. The young man, the people tell him, you have to hurry up and go get a circumcision. Go get a circumcision today. You have to cut all your hair off. You have to go home. You got to take a shower. You have to stop living with your mother. You have to kill the dog. The dog that lives with you in your house, you have to kill your mother's dog. You have to stop working. He's a new Muslim. This is not how the Nabi dealt with new people who came to this deen. When people come to the deen, if she's not wearing hijab, you have to give a nice dawah, easy dawah. You don't right away tell her, you have to get a divorce from your husband. You have to put on niqab, put on hijab. Give these people an opportunity to learn who Allah is. Who Allah is. Give them an opportunity to know the most important aspects of al-Islam. Take into consideration where they came from, where they are, and where they're going. Take it easy. Brand new spanking Muslim, they put pressure on her. The sisters tell her, you must hurry up and get married. You must hurry up and get married. So the first person who comes to her, she's told you have to marry. Fi sabilillah. Even if you don't love him, even if you're not attracted to him. Fi sabilillah. You must get married. You must get married. And these decisions are overwhelming. Overwhelming. The new Muslim, when he comes and he prays with us, next to us, many of them feel strange because they don't know what they're doing. They're just praying and following what you're doing. People are next to him. You have to take it easy with those people. So that's what today's talk is about. How the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam had rahmah to the Jaahil, the ignorant one who doesn't know. The one who is new because of their ignorance. They're new, they're ignorant. How did he deal with them? And the second group of people today are the people of al-Ma'asi and the noob. How did the Nabi deal with them? Sallallahu alayhi wasallam, with rahmah. And both of these categories, they have a lot of examples, but we're going to try to fit in as many examples that we can with the time that has been allotted to us, allowed for us. Concerning the Jaahil and the Mubtadi, the beginner, the ignorant one, something we should know that Allah mentioned in Surah An-Nahl, the Surah of the bee. He said, وَاللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمِّهَاتِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. Allah is the one who took all of you out of the stomachs of your mother. You were children, you were infants, you were a fetus. And Allah took you out of the stomach of your mother, each and every one of you. And you didn't know anything, he said. You didn't know anything. And then Allah gave you the ability to hear and the ability to see. And he gave you a heart, a mind. in the hopes that you will be the people who give shukr. This ayat is telling us the condition of every single human being. Every human being came out Jaahil, not knowing. And then as time went on, he started to know things and he started to learn things. Al-Imam Ali al-Madini, Abdullah ibn Mubarak, Al-Imam al-Bukhari, Al-Imam Abdul Rahman ibn Mahdi, Sufyan al-Thawri, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali, Ibn Kathir, Al-Imam al-Mizzi, all of them. They came out ignorant. Al-Imam al-Bukhari was ignorant, Jaahil, when he came out of his mother's stomach. And then he learned the religion, he became a scholar. So you have to know that if a person is ignorant, ignorance is something that's relative, it's nisbi. In this masjid right now, someone has the most money. In this masjid right now, hey little man, pay attention. In this masjid right now, someone is going to live the longest from amongst us. Someone's going to die first. May Allah put us on the Jannat al-Firdaus when we die. In this masjid right now, someone is the most knowledgeable person from us. He knows the most Quran. In this masjid, someone is the most ignorant person. Someone. If you were that Jaahil, you were the most ignorant person, you would want people to deal with you with rahmah. Because you're not ignorant just to be ignorant. You're ignorant because that's your condition. So things that you don't know, you drink and you eat with your left hand because you didn't know. So you want someone to come and teach you the right way, how and why not to do this, or why and how not to do that. The other issue is another ayah I want to bring to your attention. Again, it's in Surah An-Nisa. It's something that happened with the companions. May Allah be pleased with all of them. They were traveling, and Khalid ibn Walid was the leader of the people. He was on the trip and he was the Amir. They came to a group of Arabs who were in the desert, and they weren't sure, are they Muslims? They're not Muslims. Khalid ibn Walid came to those people, and those people said to him, Assalamu alaikum. But Khalid was wondering, if they're Muslims, why we don't know about them? We should have got some news. They should have sent someone to Al-Madinah to let the Nabi know about them. If they're Muslims, why are they still living here? If you're a Muslim, you should make hijrah to Al-Madinah. And if you don't make hijrah to Al-Madinah, you have to contact the Nabi, send some people to the Nabi, your chief. Someone has to come to the Nabi to inform him of what your situation is. But you people, we don't know who you are. So the man said, Assalamu alaikum to Khalid ibn Walid and the rest of the Muslims. Khalid ibn Walid didn't give salams back and saw them as being non-Muslims, and they killed them. Allah Ta'ala revealed an ayat in Surah An-Nisa, Ya ayyuhal ladhina aman, إذا ضربتم في سبيل الله فتبينوا ولا تقولوا لمن ألقى إليكم السلام لست مؤمنا تبتغون عرض الحياة الدنيا فعند الله مغانم كثيرة كذلك كنتم من قبل فمن الله عليكم فتبينوا إن الله كان بما تعملون خبيرا. Oh, you believe, when you travel in the earth and you're traveling around in the earth for jihad or whatever, going to Hajj, whatever, you're traveling the earth and you come to a group of people, don't say to them, you're not a Muslim, after they said to you, Salaam alaikum. Don't say you're not a Muslim. And your goal and your objective is the hayat of the dunya. Because when they fought against them, they took their property. They took their camels, they took their horses, they took their animals. The Muslims took it for the war booty. So it was part of the incentive. They're not a Muslim, they're not Muslims, so they fought them, killed them, and took their stuff and brought it back to Medina. Allah said, don't do this. And then the ayat went on to say, you want the maghanim of the dunya, you want the maghanim. فَعِنْدَ اللَّهِ مَغَانِمٌ كَثِيرًا. Allah has all of the property. And then this is the point. Allah said to them, كَذَلِكَ كُنْتُم مِّن قَبْلِ فَمَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكُمْ. You people used to be like that before. But Allah, He gave favor to you. You used to be like them. You used to be ignorant. You used to not know. You. Those companions, radiallahu anhum, from them were those who made shirk with Allah at one time. How would you like when you accepted Islam on the first day, at the beginning of Islam, and you're sincere and someone comes and kills you saying that you're not a Muslim. Those companions, some of them used to do zina. Some of them used to gamble. Some of them used to drink khamr. Some of them used to do highway robbery. You used to be like that. But the Nabi and his companions dealt with you in a nice way. So people who are in that condition that was your former condition, you have to deal with them in a nice way. So everybody here, we know some things and a lot of things have passed us by. أدركنا شيئا وفاتتنا أشياء. Some of us know some tajweed of the Quran. Some of us know some things that are halal. Some of us know some things that are haram. Some of us have some knowledge. All of us, relatively speaking, none of us are scholars. No scholars are here. But some of us have more knowledge now than we did before. How would you like if someone came and dealt with you in a rough and tough way? And we can extend this example to the father and the mother. You used to be young. This little guy was moving around, lying on the ground like that. And it's our job to say, hey boy, get yourself together and sit right. But I remember when I was a new student in Medina, I really didn't know the etiquettes of being respectful to the sheikh and things like that. I remember right now, this very day, that when I was in the classroom, in the language class, I was sitting with my foot up, facing towards the sheikh. And he found that disrespectful. I didn't mean any disrespect by that, but he found it disrespectful. When he was telling me, put your foot down in Arabic. I'm a new student. I knew he was trying to tell me put my foot down, but I was saying, why I got to put my foot down? And I was kind of like challenging him. And although he wasn't a scholar, he was nonetheless my teacher. So I wouldn't have liked it if he would have gone off on me. So I can't go off on this little boy. You can't go off on your son. You can't go off on your daughter. You used to be like that. You were young at one time. So the Nabi, knowing the condition of people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he dealt with them in a particular way. And many examples that we're going to bring to your attention. The prophets and the messengers, they were sent to the people in order to call the people to the worship of Allah. That was why they were sent. Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned ayahs in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. All of those prophets and messengers came and they called their people to the worship of Allah. They did not call the people to themselves. They did not call the people to their tribes or to their customs. They called the people to worship Allah. That's the main goal and objective of why they were sent. To tell the people to worship Allah and to stop worshiping everything other than Allah. So if that's the goal and the objective of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then clearly he's going to use the right method to get the people focused on that issue. If a person's goal and objective is not clear or he's not sincere, he's going to be rough and tough unnecessarily. Because his goal and his objective is not for the person to do the sunnah or to do what's right. He's drinking with his left hand. His left hand. The little boy was eating with his left hand. His hand was just going all over the place. The Nabi told him very nicely, hey, say Bismillah, eat with your right hand, and eat with what is in front of you. Eat from what's in front of you. Don't let your hand go all the way, all over the place. That's the goal and the objective, to get the boy to know the etiquette of eating. So you're going to deal with him a certain way. If the goal and the objective is for you to be listened to, the goal and the objective is for you to show that you have power over him, then you'll be rough and tough and mean. And you won't have any rahmah. The prophets weren't like that. Their goal and the objective was get the person to worship Allah. As a result of that, they dealt with the people in a nice way. There's a scholar of Islam that we should know. He's a scholar of our time. He died, Muhaddith, and Imam Nasiruddin al-Albani. He used to tell the people over and 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 over again that the haqq, the truth is heavy. The truth is heavy. A group of people, they're used to doing their culture. They're used to doing certain things. That's all they know, is the way that they do particular things. You know what they're doing is wrong. If you want to change them, the truth that you have, the haqq that you have is heavy. Not everybody can accept it. It's heavy. And Al-Albani used to say, you don't make the haqq more heavier by using the wrong method. It's already difficult for a man to stop smoking cigarettes. He's addicted to cigarettes. Ramadan, after he breaks his fast, that's the first thing he does is light up that cigarette. That haqq that you have, he knows it's the truth, but him taking it and embracing it is heavy. So you don't come and make it more difficult by the way you're doing it. Give the khutbah against the person and mention his name in front of everybody. You want me? Do you want me to change what I'm doing in that way? So the Nabi would get on the minbar and he would say, what's the problem with some people who did this and this and that and that? So the person is not exposed and he knows his problem. So the point is, those prophets and those messengers who we have to be like them, especially our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to have the focus and the goal and the objective, get the person to obey Allah. If that's what your goal is, you're going to be easy with them. You're going to give them the message in a nice way. Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned about their job, Rusulan, Mubashirin wa Mundhirin. لِأَلَّا يَكُونَ لِلنَّاسِ عَلَى اللَّهِ حُجَّةٌ بَعْدَ الرَّسُولِ. Allah sent the messengers as warners. He sent them as warners and as prophets so that there would be no argument for mankind with Allah Yawm al-Qiyamah. Allah will ask the slave, hey, why did you do that and why didn't you do that? The person will say, because the messenger was too rough and tough, so I ran away from him. Why are you not practicing Islam? Because my mother and my father, they were too rough and tough. The way they were giving me dawah, they made me run away. So the Nabi used to tell the companions, Inna minkum munaffirin. Some of you companions are running the people away because you're too rough and tough in some of the things that you're doing. So the prophets and the messengers, the point here is, they didn't do things to make people reject the haqq. So the Prophet ﷺ, he used to deal with them in a nice way. So let's take a look at some of these examples, and they are many. The Jaahil and the Mubtadi. The Mubtadi, the beginner. The first example that we want to share with you, brothers, is the example of Muawiyah ibn al-Hakam as-Sulami, radiyallahu anhu. He was a new Muslim, and he didn't have a lot of knowledge, but he had quite a bit of money. And there was an incident that happened, and he was praying with the companions. One time he was praying with them, and someone sneezed in the salat. When that person sneezed, Muawiyah ibn al-Hakam as-Sulami, he knows if a Muslim sneezes and he says Alhamdulillah, you should say Yarhamakallah. But he didn't know in the salat he shouldn't talk. Be quiet in the salat. Someone asked this question the other day as well, but he wasn't here yesterday. During the salat of al-Jum'ah, when the person says Rasulullah or Muhammad, should you say in Jum'ah sallallahu alayhi wasallam? There's ikhtilaf between the scholars, but the answer, wallahu alam, is you shouldn't say that out loud. If you're going to say it low to yourself, because this is one of the times when you don't say it. The person, he thinks, he just heard the hadith, that a person is bakhil if he hears the Nabi's name and he doesn't say sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So he's giving a khutbah and the imam, the khatib says, and Rasulullah said this or do that. The person says sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he doesn't know. And the other person in the salah, in the masjid, he says, hey, shut up, you stupid. No, he doesn't know that ruling right there. That's what happened with Muawiyah ibn al-Hakam as-Sulami. He didn't know the ruling. So when the person sneezed, he said out loud in tashahhud and jalsa, when they were sitting down, he said, Yarhamakallah. And the people started moving to get him to be quiet. And some people were looking at him to get him to be quiet, because he kept saying, Yarhamakallah. And he wanted the man to make dua for him. Yahdikumullah wa yusru barakum. He wants that dua. So the people kept looking at him and hitting him next to him. Be quiet, trying to get him to be quiet. He got upset. New Muslim, ignorant. He said, screaming out, Wa thakara ummiyah, ma sha'nukum tanzuruna ilayya. May your mothers lose all of you. Well, what's your business looking at me? In the salat. And it made it worse. After the salat, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, come here. He told the man, this prayer that we just made, La yasluhu fiha shay'un min kalam an-nas. People's kalam has no place in this salat. No kalam. And this is a strong dalil for the people who say when you're praying, don't make dua in Somali language, don't make dua in English. The Nabi says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the salah has no room for the kalam of the people. Make the dua of the sunnah, the dua of the Quran, the dua in Arabic. Don't be bringing your own program to the table, your own language. But that's a different issue. The point is, he talked to him very nice and he took it easy with the man. Muawiyah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said about the Prophet, by my father and my mother, wallahi, I never saw a better teacher that was more merciful. Not before him did I see a teacher like that, and not after him did I see a teacher like that. Ma kaharani, wa ma shatamani, wa ma darabani. He said that the Nabi, he didn't choke me with kalam or the way he dealt with me. He didn't curse me. He didn't hit me. He just said those nice words to me. The man is ignorant and the man is a new Muslim. And the Nabi taught him according to the way that the man needed to change his situation. Another example, and there are so many. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa ala alihi wasallam, in what was collected by Imam al-Bukhari and Muslim, Anas ibn Malik said that the Nabi, he was wearing sallallahu alaihi wasallam a burd, najrani, ghalid al-hashiya. He had like a top portion on, like a cape that came from a place called Najran in the southern part of Arabia. And it was coarse, the material, like that goat's skin that's kind of tough the way it is. He was wearing that. And some Bedouin man came. The Bedouin was ignorant, the Bedouin. He came and he grabbed the Nabi by his clothes, very tough and very hard from the back, and he yanked it and dragged him and yanked it. And he told the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Murli min malillah alladhi indi." Give me some of the money that you have that is really Allah's money. The Baytul Mal. The Bedouin is a Muslim. He's a Muslim, but he's from the Badia. He's from the desert. There's a hadith about the people from the desert. The Nabi said about them, "Man bada jafa." Man bada, yani nasha'a fil badia. Anyone who lives in the desert, anyone who lives far away from the people, they're going to be coarse. They're going to be rough. Wherever you come from. Somalia, anyone who lives far away from the city, Pakistan, Afghanistan, people who live far away in the mountains, Nigeria, people who live far away in the jungle, anywhere. If you're far away from the people, your environment is going to make you rough and tough. So when those people meet up with others, they're going to be tough the way they are. You perceive them as being tough, but the way they see themselves is just natural and normal. That's just the way they are. If they eat, some of them, if they eat because of where they come from, they may just take this stuff and wipe it off on their clothes like that. You look at that as not being muta'addib. There's no adab. But that's the way their lifestyle is. So the Nabi used to know the people's situation. That Bedouin grabbed him and told him, "Give me some of the money that you have from Allah. Give me that money." Anas ibn Malik said, he grabbed him so hard, you can see that he cut the Nabi. It was in his skin. You can see the effects of the way he grabbed him. Now, if some regular young brother came and slapped my hat off, slapped me in the head playing with me. He slapped my head up, slapped me in the head to say, "What's up?" and slapped me in the head. That's going to be really difficult to tolerate. I'm going to say, "What's wrong with you, man? What's your situation?" The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he looked at that man and he smiled at him. Smiled. And he told the people, "Give him some money. Give him some money from what we have." The man went away happy. Told his people about the incident, and what he did was not acceptable. Not even to them. He's a person of respect and a person of position. And they knew that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on something special. Many examples of how he was with those people. And I don't have to tell you about the famous incident and example of the Bedouin who got up in the masjid and he urinated in the masjid. That man who urinated in the masjid was also from the Badia, from the desert. He didn't come from outside and just went to the toilet in the bathroom. He was sitting with the people. They were sitting all together with the Nabi. And the man, just in the middle of the discussion, he just got up, in the middle, just got up, went over there, in front of everybody, pulled his clothes off and started going to the bathroom. That gives you an idea and an indication of the mentality of the Bedouin. Even the youngest kid here is not going to do something like that. If he really has to go, he's just going to just be moving around and you're going to see him. Hey, what's the matter? What's the matter, little man? You're going to say, I got to go to the toilet. I got to go to the toilet. He's not going to say, oh, that's it. And just right in front of everybody do his business. He's not going to do that. But the Bedouin, he doesn't care. I ain't got time for all of that. He got up in front of everybody and just pulled his clothes down and started going to the bathroom. Now the people looked at that and that was strange for them. They're not Bedouins. They're from Mecca. They're from Medina. They said, no, we're going to stop this situation. And they got up to deal with the Prophet. The Prophet told those people, La tuzrimu, da'uhu. Don't stop him. Let him finish. Let him finish. Did the man on his own say, okay, I did something wrong? He just stayed there and finished. And after finishing, he got up and tied his stuff and sat down. The Nabi said, come here, come here. Very nice, very gentle. Come here. These masajid, لا يسلق فيها شيء من بول الناس ولا القدر. إنما هي للتسبيح والتكبير وقراءة القرآن. This masjid is not for that. It's not for the urine of the people. It's not for you to go to the bathroom in the masjid. It's not for you young brothers to drop food in the masjid. It's not for you to take the gum out and to put it under the table or the chair or under the carpet in the masjid. It's not for that. This masjid is for what? The masjid is for the salat. It's for you making dhikr of Allah. It's for you reading the Quran. It's for lessons. It's not for all of that. Again, the Bedouin man, because of the way that the Nabi dealt with him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he appreciated that rahmah. Right now, today, ikhwani, I don't think there's a masjid in the world, Allahu alam. I don't think if someone used the toilet in the masjid, even though we know this hadith, I don't think anyone's going to deal with someone who goes to the bathroom like that. I don't think so. And that's because naturally, your ghira for the masjid, naturally, you think everybody should know that this is something you shouldn't do. But some people, they don't know. They don't know. And some people have challenges. They are mentally challenged. So they do certain things because the way that they're thinking and interpreting and understanding things are different from the people who are normal. So therefore, we have to take the whole situation into consideration. Today, we went for a breakfast. I got an opportunity to get to know the muallim of this masjid, Idris, Hafidhullah. I was asking him because I'm amazed that the people memorize the Quran. Amazed at that. I said to him, how did you memorize the Quran? How do you know what you're going to read? What role did your father play? Did he memorize the Quran? All of those questions. I said, who is the muallim that has the most fadl on you? He told me the muallim back in his country where he was living at. And he made dua for him. And we make dua in the dhahr al-ghayb for that individual. I said, what about the muallim that you remember who wasn't real good? He said, yeah, there was one of them. He would hit us before we even make the mistake. Before you even make the mistake, he slap you. You didn't even make the mistake yet. You're going to make the boy hate the Quran. You're going to make your daughter hate cleanliness. She's at an age where she should learn at-Tahara. It's half of the deen, half of iman. But the mother wants to punish her daughter, so what does she do? She makes her clean the bathroom floor with a toothbrush. She has to scrub the floor with a toothbrush. Scrub the floor, scrub the sink, scrub the everything. The girl's gonna grow up hating the clean. So the opposite thing that you're trying to accomplish is what's going to happen when you're too rough and you're too tough. And again, that's what Allah told the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you are rough and tough with them, Ya Muhammad, you're gonna chase them away. So there are a number of other examples, Ikhwani, but we only have 15 minutes left. So we're gonna deal, inshallah, with the people who make ma'asi. How did the Nabi deal with them? I want to make this very clear from the very beginning. This portion of this talk and this presentation is not to make istisghar and ihana with al-ma'asi, trying to show you that falling into sins is insignificant. I'm not saying that. They are kaba'ir and Allah doesn't love them. Abandoning the salah, not wearing hijab, smoking, eating qat, drinking khamr, all of those are from the kaba'ir. So I'm not here to say that they're small. But look what these companions fell into, and look how the Nabi dealt with them, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. And there are too many examples. One example is what happened with a man by the name of Ma'iz ibn Malik radiyallahu anhu. He came to the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, purify me because I made a sin. Establish on me the had because I made a sin. The Nabi didn't ask him, what's the sin? The Nabi said to him, Wayhak, irja' fastaghfirillah wa tub ilayhi. Hey, what's wrong with you? Go back and make istighfar by yourself. Make tawbah to Allah, just you and Allah. Go back. The man left. After a few minutes, he came back in front of everybody. Ya Rasulullah, purify me. I made a sin. The Nabi said the same thing. What's wrong with you? Go back, make istighfar, make tawbah to Allah, you and yourself. The man left. He came back. The third time, go back. He came back the fourth time. The man said, purify me. The Nabi said, you, what did you do? He said, I made zina. He was married. He said, I made zina. The Nabi could have easily just did what needed to be done. The man confessed. He said to him, giving him a chance. Were you Majnoon? He gave him a chance. He wasn't quick to destroy the man. He was an individual who was on a hurry for people's destruction. When we hear about some people, they made mistakes. Some people have shamata. You young brothers, I want you to learn this word if you don't know it. Shamata. Shamata. I'm going to say it and then you say it. Shamata. Good job, good job. Excellent job. Shamata. Shamata means when something happens to someone, a misfortune, you get happy. He crashed his car, you're happy. He failed the exam, you're happy. He got fired, you're happy. People have that. Don't have shamata for your brother or your sister. If a misfortune happens to someone, it should be looked at like it's happening to us. مثل المؤمنين في توادهم وتراحمهم وتلاطفهم كمثل الجسد. The example of the believers together in their love for each other and the rahmah that they have for each other and their emotions and feelings and concern. If something happens to one of them, it's like the body. Something happened to one part of his body, the whole body suffers. You don't get happy. So the Nabi said, you Majnoon? The man said, no. He said, were you drinking khamr? Someone got up and went to smell his breath. He said, no, he wasn't drinking khamr, Ya Rasulullah, he's not drunk. The man said, I wasn't drinking khamr. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had him tied up and they stoned the man to death. 1 day went by, 2 days went by, 3 days went by. The Prophet told the people sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the man had committed zina. He said, Istaghfiru Limazin ibn Malik. Make istighfar for him. He said, Wallahi, that man made tawbah. Ma'iz ibn Malik. Make istighfar. Ask Allah to forgive him. He made tawbah. Law qusimat la wasa'at tawbata ummah. If you were to take his tawbah and to weigh it, it would have been the weight of the tawbah of a whole nation of people. So the point here is that the Nabi wasn't happy that the man made a sin. He didn't expose the man. He didn't make the problem bigger than it was. He gave a man the opportunity just to go cover up yourself. And that's from his rahmah as well, ikhwani. The rahmah that he used to have for the people when he taught us, Man satara muslimin fi dunya yastaruhu Allahu ta'ala yawm al-qiyamah. Anybody who covers up his brother's fault, his sister's fault in the dunya, that's rahmah. Don't be like the people today. Put stuff on the email about people. A lot of times it's not even true. Call up people and let the relatives know and let the city know and bring it to the masjid. It's not even true. After that same incident, the lady came from the Ghamidiyya tribe. She was another lady. Because what happened with that man, she came and said, Ya Rasulullah, purify me. Because of what happened. She saw that the way the Nabi dealt with that man, it encouraged her to make tawbah. But how? She wanted to be purified. Ya Rasulullah, I'm asking you to purify me. The Nabi said to the lady, what's wrong with you? Go back, make tawbah. You and Allah make tawbah. She said, don't do to me what you did to him. I was here. I saw it. Don't do to me what you did to him. Meaning, I'm not drunk. I'm not crazy. She said, I'm pregnant. There's no doubt about it. I'm pregnant. I'm not Majnoon. I wasn't drinking. I'm pregnant. I got a baby. Then the Nabi told the lady, go back and have the baby. That's rahmah. That's rahmah for the one who's in the stomach and he didn't even come out yet. He had rahmah for the infant. He, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, had rahmah for the adolescent. He had rahmah for the little guys like that. He had rahmah for the teenagers. He had the rahmah for the handicapped, for the blind, for the people with special needs. He had rahmah for everything. Go back and have that baby. When she had the baby was small, an infant. He said, go back, let the baby drink and eat, let him grow. The baby grew up, came back, the baby is drinking from the milk. Go back, all of that time. 2 years in Islam, the baby has the right to drink from his mother. 2 years. 2 years. وَفِصَالُهُ فِي عَامَيْنِ. He could keep drinking. It's the hop. There's a divorce. The husband could say, I want my baby to keep drinking for 2 years, even if he gets custody. The baby has the right. Drink 2 years. When she came back, the baby wasn't drinking anymore. He was drinking. He was eating from the bread. The Nabi had the lady tied up and stoned to death. Somebody said to that lady, may the curse of Allah be upon you. Nasty lady. The Nabi said, don't say that about her. Don't say that. Can you find anything better than the fact that she came herself to get stoned to death? If you take the iman of 70 people of Al-Medina, you put it in the scale with her iman would be equal, outweigh that. So the point here is the rahmah of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam to the people who made those mistakes. Big, major mistakes. What about some of the smaller mistakes that people make? He's going to always have rahmah for them. Sallallahu alaihi wa ala alihi wasallam. There was a companion, his name was Abdullah, but they used to call him, his nickname was Himar, which means a donkey. But he allowed that nickname so it wasn't haram. If a person doesn't want an offensive nickname, then you shouldn't call him that. They called him Himar. His name was Abdullah and it's the best name. And they called him Himar, the donkey. He used to make the Nabi laugh. I won't say he was a comedian because they used to make people laugh within the hudud. But he used to make the Nabi laugh, make jokes with him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he used to drink khamr. He was caught drinking khamr a few times. He would drink and he would be drunk. They bring him and they would flog him. He would drink, again they would bring him, they would flog him. He would drink, they would bring him and they would flog him. Someone said, curse of Allah be upon him. How many times he's coming and he's drunk? May the curse of Allah be upon him, getting drunk all that time. What's wrong with him? The Nabi said, don't curse him. Don't curse him. I know this man loves Allah and he loves his messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the point of that, Ikhwani, and the objective of all of that is, again, it's not for you and it's not for me to look at people who are making mistakes, making sins, and to do what some people do. Look at them with their noses up in the air and with that mentality, I'm better than you, I'm holier than you. You know some people your age who are not practicing like you're practicing. You wear a thobe, they don't wear a thobe. They are musbil, you're not musbil. They cut their beard, you don't cut your beard. They come to the masjid, they don't come to the masjid, you're always in the masjid. She wears tight fitting clothes, you have proper hijab and niqab and all of that. Don't look at those people like that. Hate the sin that they're doing, hate that sin, but don't hate the person. You have to look at that person's situation and deal with it accordingly. Again, some of the deviant people of the past, there was a man, his name is Bishr al-Marisi. He's a problem. He used to say all kind of crazy things. He's a real deviant. Some of the ulama of Islam and Imam Ahmed, those people used to say this man was a kafir billah, because of the things he used to say. Say things like the Quran is created, and he would fight people over that issue. He used to say that Allah doesn't know what's going to happen until it happens. He said all kind of stuff, crazy stuff. Someone today, he's doing some innovation. You go to the masjid and all of the people are doing innovations. Before the adhan, innovations. After the adhan, innovation. Before the salah, before the iqamah, after the iqamah, innovations. The way that people read the Quran together, the way that people do dhikr together, innovation, innovation. The whole religion, innovation. You can tell them, this is not correct, this, that. Right after that, they're going to do the same thing. It takes time. Your job is just to relay the message. And don't make those people similar to Bishr al-Marisi. They're not Bishr al-Marisi. Al-Hallaj. Al-Hallaj was a Sufi. They have a lot of Sufis in Somalia. We even have to be careful. There are some people who may be on the way of the Sufis. I tell you, the way I believe, Sufism is wrong. It's wrong. But that is not a personal attack against you. And if you wanted to discuss that issue, we could come and discuss intellectually, Islamically, history of Sufism and what they do and what they say, and we can have an exchange. Sufism is wrong. But the regular person who's a Sufi and he does the Mawlid al-Nabawi and he does all of these things that don't have any dalil, he's not Bishr al-Marisi. He's not like Hallaj. Hallaj, the Sufi, used to say all kind of crazy things. That he was being transported from here to there. He didn't know if you became him today and he's you. He would talk to you and say, are you sure you're not me? This person, what? He said, are you sure you didn't become me and I became? And the person, well, what are you talking about? And he thought that was taqwa. So don't treat people like that. Lastly, Ikhwani, I want to end with this here in the city of Toronto, like in the city of Birmingham and all over the world. We have a fitna, people of the Sunnah. We have a fitna with a group of young people, young brothers, young sisters, who are on the dawah of the Sunnah, Salafiyah. Salafiyah is the haqq. But Salafi is not a group of people. You don't have to belong to any group of people to be Salafi. Salafiyah is a theory. It's a minhaj. It simply means practicing this religion, embracing it, taking it, and understanding it the way those companions did. That's all it means. If you said to the whole Muslim world, I want you people to be from the Jahmiyyah. Some people say okay, other people are going to say no. If you said to the people, I want you to be from the Ash'ari, some people are going to say yes, okay, some people are going to say no. You tell the people, you should be from the Ikhwan al-Muslimin. Some people say yeah, some people say no. You tell other people, you should be Sufi. People who are Sufi say, okay, I want to do that, that's okay. Other people say no. And on and on and on. But if you told the whole ummah, I want you people to be on the religion of the companions, everybody's going to say, okay, I don't have a problem with that, okay. Because the way of the companions is the religion. Unfortunately, that's not even true. The Shia are going to say, no, we don't want that religion of the companions. We don't want their religion. They're kuffar, we don't like them. Only 5 or 6 of them are still Muslims. And even with those people from Iran and Iraq, just the regular people, the regular Joe Schmo, Ahmad Bakr Zaid, even those people, we have mercy on them. They grew up ignorant. They don't know. They think that that's the deen. They were taught loving Ahlul Bayt is like this and like that, and the companions around the Nabi did this and that, and they were not fair to Ali. They don't know. Victims of their own ignorance. So as a result of that, even those people, the way the Nabi's life was, the way the Quran is, the way his Sunnah was, those ignorant people, ignorant, Jaahil, he has to be dealt with a certain way. And that's not saying that Shiaism is okay. We're talking about how to deal with people, If certain conditions are present and certain preventive measures, mawani, are absent, then you have to deal with them in a different way. But if certain things are absent in this, then you have to take it easy with the people. Don't make everybody on the same post, on the same level. So you young brothers, be Salafi. Be people of the Sunnah. And don't be shy about that. Be people of the Sunnah. But don't be of the people who are arrogant and ignorant, and the people who have kibr, and the people who are rough and tough. You have to be rough and tough in the right place and at the right way. And I say that to the sisters as well, those who are listening, because unfortunately, when it comes to ignorance, because of the way women are, a lot of times they tend to be more ignorant. A lot of times, not all the time. So you find that dawah affecting women a lot. Don't blindly follow and just try to be with the crowd. Try to be on what the Prophet was upon, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So now we'll take these 5 or 7 minutes. If you brothers have any questions, inshallah, to deal with whatever questions you may have. But if you don't have any questions, then stop asking me questions after the thing is over. Every day so far after the thing was over, we get a lot of questions, which I don't mind, but a lot of the questions that you're asking are questions that people need to hear the answer to those questions. So don't be shy. If you brothers have any questions, you can put your questions forward. Halindakum shay. You have a question, little man? Because you were moving around like you had a question. You had a question? All right. Concerning the hadith that the salat has no room for the kalam of the nas, I said that some scholars are of the opinion that the only thing that you can make dua with in your salat are the du'as that are in the Quran. But don't make the dua of the Quran in sajda, because there's a prohibition for that. You want to make dua in jalsa, you want to make dua in the different parts of salat, then use those ayat of the Quran. And they also said the Arabic language, because the Nabi told the people, pray the way you see me praying, and he prayed in Arabic. But that's an opinion. There's another opinion that's just as strong, that a person can make dua in his own language for whatever he wants. After he finishes the dua of the sunnah, Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim, while he's bowing down, from his own heart, he says, oh Allah, I'm bowing down to you. And then he said in his own language. Because he knows what he's saying, and he's saying it with ikhlas. Those scholars of the opinion, yes, you can do that because it's still your salah. So it's an issue of ikhtilaf. But those who said nothing of the kalam of the people, they said that the dua should only be in Arabic, even if it's not from the Quran or the Sunnah. And Allah knows best. Naam, little brother. The brother said, what is a Sufi? The Sufi were a group of Muslims who tried to get close to Allah by a long time ago by having aestheticism, having zuhd, forsaking the dunya, and making a lot of dhikr, making dhikr to Allah and trying to get close to Allah and trying to be from the awliya of Allah. People used to try to make tazkiyah of themselves. They used to try to purify themselves a long time ago. But now the Sufis are a group of people. They're in Somalia. They're all over the world who worship Allah with a lot of innovation. A lot of innovation. So the important thing is, although you ask the question, find out what's the sunnah. And you be a boy on the sunnah, okay? What's your name, little man? Abdurrahman. If I come back and hear you a Sufi, Abdurrahman. And that doesn't mean, Ikhwani, that I said Sufis on the hellfire. I didn't say you as a person. I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not bring the ibadat that the Sufis are practicing. The way that they make dhikr, the things that they say, the things that they believe. And the real strange thing about Somalia as a country, although Somalia is in a lot of turmoil for 21 years, a lot of problems, as the ayah said, عَسَى أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَيَنْصُرْ هَذَا الدِّينَ بِرَجُلٍ فَاجِرٍ. Allah's Nabi said, Allah can help this religion with a bad man, an evil man. Somalia is crazy, the stuff that's going on. And Islam, the Sunnah, has spread in Somalia. In the last 21 years, there's more pure Islam and Sunnah in Somalia than it was before. Is that true? Is that true? It seems like all the non-Somalis are saying yes, it's true. I want to ask the Somali people, is the Sunnah more prevalent in Somalia now? It's a fact. That's what everybody knows. How? Why? It's from the hikmah of Allah. Hikmatullah al-Baniya. So we want pure Islam, pure Islam. Now, my brother. concerning the multiple jama'at in the masjid, it's an issue that is an old issue, pretty prevalent issue, well-known issue. We have to give it its proper size, the correct hajm. Don't make it bigger than what it deserves to be, and don't make it smaller than what it deserves to be. It's an issue of fiqh, and there's some legitimate bona fide ikhtilaf in it from the time of the people of the past. So if a person takes the other position and the other opinion, let him have the opinion in this type of issue. No problem. No problem. So if there is a masjid where there is an imam, ratib, and they pray 5 times a day, in that masjid, you shouldn't pray the second jama'ah. You shouldn't pray the second jama'ah. But if it's a masjid on the roadway going from here, from Mecca to Medina, Medina to Mecca, there are masjids on the way. There's no imam in those masjids. Then you can continue to make jama'ah, no problem. But if there's an imam, ratib, then don't pray multiple jama'at. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in the place of the people of al-walid. He was over there in that area, and he was making peace between the people, and they prayed the salat. It passed him by. Salat al-dhuhr passed him by. He came back after dhuhr and he came to the masjid, and they told him the salat is done, Ya Rasulullah, we finished. So he sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to his house, and he gathered up his family, and he prayed the jama'at with his family. There were people living in the masjid. If that was the sunnah, he would have prayed with those people and said, come, you're going to get 27 more, and so forth and so on. But he didn't do that. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, he went to the masjid and he missed the salat. He was with 2 of his students, Alqamah and al-Aswad, 2 tremendous students of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. They went to the masjid. The people prayed the salat. It was done. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud went back to his house and prayed the salat with those 2 men in the jama'at. Anas ibn Malik said, when we, the companions, would come to the masjid, if we missed the jama'at, we would go and pray individually. Individually. The other side, they have some dalil about the hadith of Abu Bakr, who will give that man sadaqah. But that dalil is weak in this area, weak to use here, because Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu already completed the jama'at, but he was just going to help that man make his salat in the jama'at. It wasn't that that man was praying a wajib prayer and Abu Bakr was praying a wajib prayer, but someone say still it's a jama'at, still it's a jama'at. So it's a point of ikhtilaf. Read the issue, read the dalils, take your position, and don't argue and fight over that issue. Wala wal bara, hating people, identifying people, making tasnif of people, categorizing people. The one who does it, the one who believes you can do it, I don't believe you can do it. If someone believes you could do it, I say they're innovators. La, not like that. I come to the masjid and I'm praying by myself, and someone comes to get next to me. I'm not going to push him away. Maybe he doesn't know the ruling. So why am I going to push him away? I push him, and then he comes back, and I push him, and then he's come back, and then he pushes me while I'm praying. I just let him come and pray, no problem. So these issues, you young brothers, 15, 20 years ago, the young brothers, we were young, Salafi brothers, we were rough and tough in issues that didn't need to be rough and tough in. Reverts come to the religion. They're happy to be Muslims. They could be rough and tough in issues. Slow down, pump your brakes, relax. That's the benefit of having older people around you. That's the benefit of having elders around you. And the elders, one of the benefits of having younger people around you is they show that fervor, that nashat, that hirs, that desire. So we have to put all of those ingredients together to make our community. Allah knows best. Akhuna musalli. Someone did what? Shamata. Concerning a shamata, someone doing something unconsciously, if someone does something and he didn't know what he was doing and he saw in a dream something he did that was really bad. He saw in his dream that he did something very bad. That's unconscious. He's not responsible for it. As long as he doesn't speak about it, and as long as he does not act upon it. So if he has shamata or other than that, evil thoughts in his mind while he's awake, he's thinking about evil things, as long as he doesn't speak about it, as long as he doesn't act upon it, then he's not held accountable or responsible. And if he made shamata, he should make istighfar. Don't be a hater and make shamata on the people. Don't be a hater and have jealousy for the people. Naam, akhi.
On Friday, you said that there are these scholars that say that they curse something that they may Allah break your back. Who are they? Who are the scholars?
I didn't say that there were some scholars who said that, Ikhwani, but you can find some scholars who did say some tough statements. You can find some scholars who say some tough statements that when you read them, you say, wow, how could he say that? One of the big scholars, when in the khutbah said there are some people who are on a dawah in Birmingham and in Toronto and in other parts of the world. As I was just telling you, young brothers, we have to be Salafi. And I explained to you what that means. And Salafi is having rahmah towards people and taking them and weighing their situation and dealing with everyone in the right way, because this is what the Nabi did. And the khutbah was referring to that element that's in Toronto and other than Toronto. A person makes a mistake, and because you may not be with that group or with them, they make dua, may Allah break your back. And the issue doesn't warrant that. This sheikh said, you can make the jama'at, second, third, fourth jama'at in the masjid. That sheikh said, you can't do it. So when they disagree on this point of ijtihad between these two sheikhs, the person says, may Allah break his back for taking that position. May Allah break his back for taking... this doesn't warrant that dua. The position that a person takes, it is the right position. His position is clear. His position is, I don't have to blindly follow and make taqleed of that individual. And the position that he took is clear. The person says, may Allah break his back. Now the problem here is knowledge and sincerity and rahmah. There's a scholar in Islam. His name is Muhammad ibn Jarir at-Tabari. He has the best tafsir book in the dunya because his tafsir is based upon the chain of narration. So you can always go to check the authenticity of what he's saying. So it's the best tafsir in the dunya. Jamil Bayan, tremendous book of tafsir. This man was an imam in hadith. He had his own madhab, Muhammad ibn Jarir at-Tabari. He wrote a book called Kitab al-Khilafiyat, in which he used to bring the ikhtilaf that scholars used to have. He didn't bring al-Imam Ahmad's points of view. He brought Shafi'i, Malik, Sufyan al-Thawri, Abu Thawr. He brought these people. But he didn't bring the Hanbali madhab. What al-Imam Abu Hanifa used to say. He was in Baghdad, where Imam Ahmad was. Some of the Hanbalis from Baghdad got upset. Why you didn't put Ahmad's position in there? He said, because he's a muhaddith. He's not a faqih. So the Hanbali people got upset with him. And they started lying on him. And they said that he was a Shiite. That he hated the Nabi's companions. And he cursed the companions. So he didn't like that. So he wrote a book of Aqidah to defend himself. And in that book is called Sarih as-Sunnah. One of the important books in Aqidah. When he came to this section in his book, what Ahl Sunnah believe about the companions, he said what he believed about Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and the rest of the companions. And then he said, anyone who says anything other than this about me, may the curse of Allah be upon him, and the curse of the malaika, and the curse of those who can curse. That's a tough statement. So now here I come, and I say, when I pray and I ask Allah to break your back, this Imam said the same thing. That Imam said the same thing. This Imam. Don't take out of context the statements and the actions of those Imams. Even if he said it. Our example when it comes to things like that, ultimately is the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, and what was collected by the Imam Muslim, he said that the people came and told the Nabi, make dua against the mushrikeen. Make dua against the mushrikeen. Curse them. The Nabi told them, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, lam ub'ath la'anan, innama bu'ithtu rahmatan. I wasn't sent to curse people. I was sent as a rahmah. So we were talking about those young people, and we don't want to see you to become from them. We're going to stop here, inshallah. Last question is for the Sheikh sitting in the corner, and then after that we'll come back to do the last session. Naam, tafadhal ya Sheikh. About what? My position is that those brothers are young, inexperienced, and ignorance is prevalent from amongst them. And they're on the Salafiyya of at-Taqleed. Salafiyya of at-Taqleed, blindly following. But they are our brothers, and they have some good things about them. They may even have some things that are better with them that other people don't have. But that's just the issue. That Masjid Khalid ibn Walid has some things that other people don't have. The people of the Sunnah, inshallah, they have Huffaz of the Quran, they have activities for the Shabab, they have goals and objectives that they're trying to see through. They have their own establishment, they have a history, they have good things. And there's some things in Khalid ibn Walid that are deficient. And if people in Khalid ibn Walid think and feel, no, we're the best, everything, something's wrong. The Masjid al-Abu Huraira, Masjid, people of the Sunnah, they have people memorize the Quran. They have programs that they give, activities for the Shabab and other activities for different aspects of the community. They are balanced. They have good things, but they also have some things that are a problem. So every masjid in the dunya, Mecca, Medina, Bayt al-Maqdis on down, every masjid has good and bad. Some have more good than bad, some have more bad than good, and some people are equal. So those brothers over there, they have some good that's better than in other masjids. One of the problems though is sometimes you get people who act and believe and think everything that we have is okay. In Birmingham, they say, we are the Salafis. We are the Salafis. And I end on that. Umar radiallahu anhu said to Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman, did the Nabi include me of the munafiqeen? Umar knew he wasn't a munafiq because he believed in the kalam of the Nabi, that he was from the muhaddathin, that if there was a Nabi after Umar, after the Nabi would have been Umar. Abu Bakr Umar, kuhul Sayyida, kuhul Ahl al-Jannah, min al-awwaleen wal-akhareen. He knew that. But yet he still had the humility to say to Hudayfa, did the Nabi include me of those people? And he is who he is in the deen. And here I come and I say, I am the Salafi. The haqq is all with me. La, it's not like that. I believe that the haqq is with me, but I can be wrong. I believe the haqq is not with you, but you can be right. As for the haqq is with me and the haqq is against you, wallahi, and that's a problem. So relax and calm down. And this is what those scholars of the past and the present who are balanced and just are teaching the people. And young brothers, we have to avoid this ghulu, and we have to avoid the shiddah, and we have to avoid the unnecessary fighting that's going on. And I believe in these types of majlis that we have to be careful about creating and feeding into this fitna, but things have to be said. Things have to be said. The time has come for people to stop being quiet. We used to hope that some of our ulama like Abdul Muhsin al-Abbad, we used to hope that some scholars would get involved and just tell people, be quiet. But they tried to solve the problem by writing books. They tried to solve the problem by giving advice over here. They tried to solve the problem without saying names, and the problem continues to exist. So we have a religious responsibility to warn our kids of what? Going overboard. Don't be with the people who want to blow things up and kill people. Don't be with those people. We say that from this member. We say that from our classes. We say that from the Masjid Abu Huraira. We're not on that stuff. Don't be of the people who go back to Somalia, other than Somalia, and kill and blow people up. Some people don't like that kalam, but we're going to say it. But we're going to be quiet about this other problem that we have. You have the problem of ghulu, going overboard. The problem of shidda. The problem of ghurur, being impressed with yourselves. Taqleed. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to protect us from all of these issues, and inshallah ta'ala to put us all on the Sirat al-Mustaqim with al-adl and insaf. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum.